Hey guys, and welcome back to Scotty Knows. Today we're back on the D16Z6 build, which I have kind of wrapped up. As you can see, I have been kind of playing around with a new turbo manifold. Seems to work pretty well. Amongst some of my Honda parts over here, I do have a plethora of new stuff. Let me move some of this stuff out the way. Of course, I've kind of already opened everything up to kind of take a look at stuff, but I got my new snail in here. This is actually the Precision 5858 Turbo, as well as all the intercooler piping. I got these from the AutoWorks. GoAutoWorks.com is the website. I'm not sponsored, but they do seem to have a quick turnaround, and they're pretty good quality. So I got everything in here. I'm going to be working on mounting the turbo just to kind of get everything mounted up. However, when I was playing around with it and kind of mocked it up, it kind of rubs here a little bit. So I'm actually going to probably have to grind this down just a little bit. To make it a little bit smoother, a little bit flatter, so I have room to kind of get it in there. So I'm going to mock that up, see if I can get my Dremel out, see if I can knock some of this metal off, see if I can get this thing test fitted. Now naturally, once I get it all, scuffed up, I'm going to probably repaint it, touch it up a little bit, make it look good. So stay tuned. So I got everything kind of taped up to help prevent any metal shavings from entering the motor. But right here, I think I'm just going to kind of round it off a little bit, take some metal, and I'll keep comparing to see if I got some clearance, make sure everything is good. But I am using my Dremel. I got my grinding bit on there, so we're gonna see, and hopefully it goes well. It's aluminum, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I think I ground it down far enough to where it actually is going to fit. Of course, I'll probably clean that up, and of course I did nick it there a little bit, but should be able to mount it up. When I was kind of test fitting it, seemed like it fit, so I'm just going to bolt it up real quick and see how it does look. Alright, so I've been doing some trimming on here. I think I got a little bit more to go right in here. I think I'm just going to kind of clear it up, but I was able to get some of the bolts on. So everything is working pretty good. Of course, I already got the manifold on. Go ahead and just keep that on. Makes it easier for me, I guess. But I'm going to go ahead and trim out a little bit more here. And that way this thing should fit a little bit more, give it a little bit more clearance. And then I'll take it out. I'll paint it just to make sure everything is good. And then we'll go from there. Alright, so I went ahead and got everything kind of tightened up. And, a little bit of gouges in there from the grinder. But you're not going to see that with the turbo in the way anyways. I was able to grind enough where I didn't really puncture through the transmission bolt hole. So hopefully, I was trying to eliminate some holes as much as possible, even though it's not going to make that much of a difference. But I got everything shaved down, so now I'm actually going to put the turbo on and hopefully get that ready to stay. So in the last clip, I actually had mounted the exhaust pipe and all that good stuff. I recently had to take it back off because I was actually attempting to hook up my oil feed line, which I have in here. So I was able to actually get that on, but I had to take everything off, clock it, and do all that good stuff to make sure it's in a good position. Got everything remounted, everything's looking good. So of course my oil feed will go back around the back somehow and attach to my sandwich plate. So I still got to connect that. Also, I was messing with my Honda, as you guys seen in the last video, and I actually had to adjust some timing. So just for shits and giggles, I kind of took everything off and just wanted to make sure everything lined up. and I believe everything does. I did kind of mark the line here, which lines up to the oil pump. Everything seems to be in time. Everything is looking good, so I just wanted to kind of make sure everything was lined up properly before I finished everything up. That way I don't have any issues. But I got the Honda running perfectly. And since the last video, I did receive some more package updates. So I did go with a Syncrotech S20 transmission, which actually has the MFactory Limited Slip Differential, as well as the carbon synchros. So hopefully that'll mock up pretty well. Just ordered a clutch and flywheel, so I'll show you guys that in the next video. It should be in this week. But everything's looking good. Of course, I got all my holes plugged, all that good stuff. But yeah, we're getting there. Wastegate's on, turbo's back on, oil line's on, everything's nice and snug. I ended up going with a thread sealant, you know, made for that kind of stuff, just to kind of protect it from any type of oil leaks, because to get this off would be kind of a pain in the ass. I'd have to pull out the whole manifold, drop the turbo and everything, just to get that off. So would be kind of a pain, but I got it mocked up. Everything's looking good. I am running into an issue with my feed line. You can see my drain tube, sorry. My drain actually goes into the oil pan here and comes out the bottom of the turbo. Problem being is I'm trying to find the right fittings. I think I may have some sort of solution where I may have to get this old fitting off, mock this up, and then I should be able to put some line in here and hopefully make that work. That should be a pretty simple fix, so I'm going to work on that. But in the meantime, I'm going to get this exhaust back on, go ahead and put the dump tube on, all that good stuff, and of course put that back on, the crankshaft pulley, so bear with me. Alright, so went ahead and got everything put back on, and then the other thing that I did was installed some of the coolant hose here for the water pump. That was kind of a pain in the butt. The skunk tubes actually are a little bit tight against the rail here, so I actually get a little bit of a pry bar. I didn't want to do too much, but I did pry on a little bit just to get enough gap in there to get this clamp on there, and everything still seems to be solid, so we'll see how that holds up. But one thing I do have, since I'm working on the thermostat, is I went ahead and got the performance thermostat, which should actually help to kick on a little bit colder or a little bit sooner than the stock one. So that's something I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and replace that, get that in there, and then see how it looks. Alright, so I went ahead and got the new Mishimoto thermostat in. Of course, it is a little bit easier to take it off here than trying to fight around all these things to get to that 10mm. But I did go ahead and replace the hardware too while I was there. Again, just trying to clean everything up. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and plug this hole. I don't need anything crawling up in there. But yeah, we got the new hose on. Kind of matches everything here. Of course, matches the hoses I got in the car. So I got the new, I guess, racing thermostat in there, I guess you could call it, for shits and giggles. Went ahead and added a little filter. Again, I'm going to do a PCV delete, so I can go ahead and put in a catch can. Got my oil feed line nice and installed. Everything's kind of clocked the way it needs to be, as far as the way I think it should be. Got everything back on. Everything's timed and tight, so it should be good to go. So I think overall it's coming along. And then again, I got my transmission over here, which I will be waiting for my clutch flywheel. Again, do have the MFactory Limited Slip and carbon synchros, so I think it's going to be a pretty beast build. But I think that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you guys for watching, staying tuned. I know it takes me a little while to put out content. Again, wrapping up my basement, getting ready for hockey season coming up here. But I am working on the motor here, trying to get everything done. So it is coming along. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for being subscribed and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for the next video. I got plenty of content coming out for the Civic. I got plenty coming out for the D16Z6 as well as the Del Sol. As a matter of fact, I do have the new fuel pump and all that, the Walbro 255. So I will have to pull the gas tank on this. That way I can go ahead and get that installed. I got to pull out the rear seats, all that. Well, not the rear seats, but pull out the rear, all that good stuff. So it's coming along. Still a lot to work on. Again, I am a one-man show trying to do it all myself. So I appreciate you guys for watching, staying tuned. Please leave your comments down below if you have any comments, questions. I'll be able to help you guys out where I can. So thank you again for watching. Please like, subscribe, and until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.